Texas allows for social workers to deny service to disabled people and members of the LGBTQ+ community. Hey y'all, it's your favorite all-knowing deity, God here. And it's about that time of day where I go and check out what in the world is going on with Earth. Let's start out with my favorite South Central landmass located in the United States, Texas. What? I leave you guys alone for 4.453 billion years, and you guys are still discriminating. As an all-knowing being, I gotta figure out what in the world's going on. Hey, that guy kinda looks like me. It's your favorite internet news reporter, Dayton Converse, and today I just want to talk about what in the world is going on in Texas. As of October 17th, 2020, it's been made open to the public that the Texas government has come to a discriminatory decision to allow social workers to deny services to disabled individuals or members of the LGBTQ+ community, which really isn't surprising because the Republican-based legislature has kind of had it out for the LGBTQ+ community for years now. During a meeting with the Texas Behavioral Health Executive Council on October 12, 2020, Governor Greg Abbott proposed the idea of this change, and the board and the council unanimously agreed without seeking public comment. The governor claimed that the rules needed to be changed because it went beyond the state laws. This has obviously garnered some severe backlash from the public and members of the LGBTQ+ community. Groups such as the National Association of Social Workers, Equality Texas, and many other organizations have come out with their disinterest and distaste and disgust for this change. As a way to try to perform damage control, Texas Governor Greg Abbott's spokeswoman Renee Ez came out and stated that the change in the code had to be made to align with the state's laws. The executive director of the Texas Behavioral Health Executive Council, Daryl Spinks, further agreed with this statement. In response to the outrage, Renee Ez further stated, "It's not surprising that a board would align its rules with statutes passed by the legislature. Title 3, Subtitle 1, Chapter 505, Section 505.451 of the Texas Occupations Code clearly states, refusing to perform an act or service within the scope of the license holder's license solely because the recipient's age, sex, race, religion, national origin, color, or political affiliation. And while this may not include disabled people or members of the LGBTQ+ community, it is still morally wrong and bigoted to do so in the workplace." The executive director of the Texas chapter of the National Association of Social Workers, Will Francis, stated this about the ruling. "Rules can always cover more ground as long as they don't contradict the law, which these protections did not." Then he continued to say that he found the change incredibly disheartening. Whether or not the discrimination in this rule change was intended, it gives off the impression that the board is saying it's okay to discriminate against disabled people or members of the LGBTQ+ community, whenever we all know that's just wrong and honestly immoral. In response to the ruling, the president of the Texas Freedom Network, Kathy Miller, has come out and said, "Pro-discrimination groups couldn't get this passed into law, but Governor Abbott has done their bidding by pushing it through administratively in an obscure meeting where he thought few eyes were watching." Along with Kathy Miller, a social worker from Houston named Stephen Parks came out and said that the ruling was both a professional and personal gut punch. And then he continued to state there's now a gray area between what's legally allowed and ethically responsible. Further saying, the law should never allow a social worker to legally do unethical things, which I think we can all agree with. Whether intended or not, this rule change is going to affect disabled people and members of the LGBTQ+ community because it's exactly that, a rule change, shining a spotlight on an issue that was rather unseen before. And on top of it being unseen, they're making it worse. I think the question more lies in why can't the government just respect people as individuals? Why not further push for the Occupations Code to get changed to include disabled people and members of the LGBTQ+ community? This would garner more respect for them and cause no problems with the public. But the Republican-led legislature just keeps pushing for these outdated beliefs of inequality in an ever-progressive world. I mean, come on, it's 2020. We're all inclusive here. The latest update to the situation came later that day on October 17th, 2020, where the presiding officer of the Texas Behavioral Health Executive Council, Gloria Canseco, said that the council would revisit concerns about gender at the next meeting on October 27th, 2020. What is wrong with you?